Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Brew Review Crew. I'm Ron.
And I'm Corey.
And today we are reviewing a very special award-winning beer out of the beautiful Cleveland, Ohio area.
Beautiful Cleveland, Ohio area.
This is the Fatheads Hunter IPA.
Glub, 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 glub.
I'm personally very excited to try this beer today because, as you know, we're from Ohio, and this past fall, Fatheads won the Imperial IPA Award for their Hop Juju. So they're an award-winning brewery. Corey, you've actually been there, so why don't you tell us a little bit about Fatheads as a brewery and Headhunter as a beer?
Sure. Headhunter, I mean, it's an award-winning beer in itself. I mean, Hop Juju is not the only thing they have. This won silver medals at the GABF. This won bronze medals in, I believe, 2011. Anywhere from 2009 to 2012, it has been winning medals left and right, anywhere it can go. It's a West Coast style IPA. I think their whole goal, they said, was to set out and make the best IPA in the world. And they use Simcoe and Cascade and Centennial hops, all those, the big grapefruit, juicy style hops. And just really tried to make the best one they could do. And Fatheads is a brewery. As we said, they're kind of out of that Cleveland area. They have the brewery itself is in Middleburg Heights. But the place I went and that I fell in love with was their saloon in North Olmsted. I personally try to think of myself as a pizza connoisseur, and it was one of the best pizzas I've ever had. I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, but their beers are also really good. I mean, we got a flight. I loved everything I had, and I also have this little sentimental value there because not to brag or anything, but this is the first place I should say, that ever rated any of my home brews, and I got a gold medal. So a little, dust that off. Why not?
It's something to brag about.
Yeah, no shame. Whatever, it's fine. But again, they're just an awesome brewery out of Cleveland. If you guys ever are in the area, you need to check them out. You're gonna completely enjoy yourself. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, I mean, as far as Ohio craft beer, we've always been kind of like the redheaded stepchild of Michigan, and being how Michigan has amazing craft beers.
Little brother,
and Fatheads is leading the way for Ohio craft beer, and I'm really excited to try this. I think we're going to have a really a great time here, and I think it's going to be an awesome beer.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's pour ourselves a glass and give you what we think about Fatheads Headhunter IPA.
All right, guys, we just got done pouring our first samples of Headhunter here, so let's dive in and see how this thing looks.
Yep.
I actually get a little bit of sediment in mine. Must be a bottled conditioned beer, right?
Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot, but yeah, I do see some definitely in mine as well.
Maybe it's just a little bit cloudy. No, there's some sediment.
Oh yeah, you definitely have more than I do.
I got the bottom of the bottle.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely got some more sediment than me for sure. But what I'm noticing is I'm seeing a lot of, I don't know how clear it is for you, it's very well carbonated. Mm-hmm. Leaves a very nice lacing. It's this very orange, bright golden color.
Yeah.
Looks really nice and light.
Yeah, not quite copper, like a golden copper though.
Yeah, like a nice yellowish golden orange. It's really, really nice.
It doesn't have a lot of head to it, but what thin head there is nice and white. And you can definitely see it looks pretty well carbonated though. I mean, there's some definite vivaciousness going on in there. Big, nice English word for you.
That's a good word. All right, so after a very articulate review of the appearance, let's go ahead and take a look at, or a smell rather, of how this thing smells.
Okay. Man.
Wow. Whew, that is as good.
Yeah, I don't want to take my nose away from that. That is awesome.
That is as good as an IPA is going to smell. I mean, truly, it's...
Yeah, lots of citrus in there. I mean, some orange, right? We got a little bit of grapefruit, a little pine resinous, but...
Definitely getting the pine.
Definitely some just great citrus notes. I mean, those West Coast hops are just... I almost feel like you can wring them out. They just smell so juicy.
My mouth is watering.
Yeah.
There's nothing better and more fresh than a West Coast IPA, and the way they're using the hops, it is a fantastic smell. And
I mean, I'm getting some lemon peel, a little bit of, is that honey? Almost a little honey type smell to it too. But just lemon and grapefruit and citrus.
Yeah,
I mean,
very citrusy fruits and a lot of pine. Mm-hmm. It's really, really, really vivacious. and the aroma as well. A lively, bright, refreshing aroma.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's going to be a refreshing type beer, not overly sweet, but just cleanse the palate with every drink. I'm excited to try this one out. It's very intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, without getting any further with our adjectives, let's get into how this thing tastes. It's going to be good, I'm sure, but let's take a look. So
there you go.
Cheers.
That's really nice. Definitely some resiny type bitter, like pine sap type bitter to it. Not as much citrus as I expected, because obviously that aroma was all just orange and grapefruit and lemon peel, but it's more bitterness. It's a lot of back of the tongue type flavors going on.
Yeah, and we chilled this a little bit before we had it. I'm wondering if it's going through a little cold shock right now.
A little bit.
But yeah, right off the bat, Corey's dead on. It's very resinous, astringent, I suppose, and I mean, I think the aroma is a little bit ahead of the flavor right now. I'm sure as we warm this thing up, it's going to bring out some more of the flavor. But right off the bat, he's right. Very piney, resinous flavors. Not quite the grapefruit that I was expecting, as you had said. But I bet as we warm this up, we're going to get a little bit more of that. So why don't we go ahead and let this warm up for a few minutes in our hands, and we'll come right back and let you know the full developed flavor on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes with the craft beer, like he said, it definitely takes a little warming up just to release some of that extra pizzazz.
I'll take it. But now that we've had another chance to try this, it definitely has a lot of different flavors. I mean, I'm getting more pine on the nose and more grapefruit in the flavor, which is weird. And a little bit of pineapple in the flavor as well. So it's almost like a flip-flop. I don't know if that always works, or if now that I'm tasting it, I'm smelling it, I'm not sure, but it's definitely changed.
Yeah, it's definitely a more layered flavor now that it's warmed up. You're definitely pulling in a lot more body that it was missing when it was kind of cold. There's definitely a nicer balance when it warms up a little bit. Right away, when we first tasted it, as we mentioned, there was very bitter and astringent, but as it warms up, there's a nice balance going on where you can pick out the tropical, citrusy flavors of the fruit, but also it's backed up well by the malt backbone.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of malt backbone here. I mean, it is a very hop-forward beer.
For sure.
I'm going back to our Hop Slam review. I thought that kind of had a better balance between hop and malt. This one is very, let's just see if we can throw as many hops on your tongue as possible. And to me, an IPA should be a little bit more balanced. I mean, that's just probably my personal opinion. But there's nothing wrong with the flavor of just good pine and citrus and grapefruit all day long.
Yeah, if you're a hop head, you're going to love it. I mean, it's really, really hop forward. So why don't you give us your final impressions?
Yeah. This one's kind of tough for me because I've been seeing all these reviews. This is the first time I've actually sat down and enjoyed it, and everything's showing 97, world class, bronze medal, silver medal, all around the world. And maybe it's just because now I'm thinking of Hop Slam and I'm thinking of all these other IPAs we've had recently.
Sure.
I'm leaning more towards a B with this, and the reason I say that is, I think, like I said earlier, just the hop to malt bitterness ratio isn't quite where I want it to be.
Yeah.
And again, I understand that's how IPAs are. They're obviously hop forward. I'm a hop head myself, but I just don't like as much bitterness in an IPA as I do some of those grapefruit, some of those West Coast type flavors.
Yeah, I would go along with that too. I would give it, if I was going to rate it, I would give it a high B, probably like an 88, 89.
Yeah,
very, very close to an A.
I mean, I'm going to drink it.
Yeah,
it's delicious. It's a great beer.
It's good, and the smell is so good. I mean, if we were rating on smell alone, I would give it a solid A+. I mean, the smell is fantastic.
Yeah.
It comes through as a little thin for me.
Yeah.
I wish, like you said, there was a little bit more balance between bitter and body. I mean, and please don't take our B as like a bad rating, because it's a great beer. It
is.
And I think it's well deserving of all the awards it's gotten, and I'd gladly have it again. I would really love to have the Hop Juju, which won the gold, and I think it's really great.
And again, you can always check us out all over the internet. I mean, we're on Facebook and Twitter are the two that we kind of use the most. We're on YouTube, obviously. Google Plus, Vimeo, Instagram. I mean, everywhere. Look for all the links. We'll either have them annotated right here, or we'll be below. So you can just find us anywhere you can.
And yeah, again, thank you so much for checking us out. Remember,
We're the Brew Review crew.
we'll review.
A brew for you.
Cheers.
Glub 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 glub.